We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to This Song Is Yours, the podcast where we dive deep into the art of songwriting, chat with some of the most exciting artists in the world, and explore the stories behind their songs. I'm your host, Simon Fink, and thank you for joining us. Our guest this week on the podcast is Canadian rapper Bbno Money. A multi-platinum genre-blending recording artist, Bbno Money is known for his signature mix of wit, humour and high-energy performances, all tied together with infectious production. Across his career, he has built a dedicated global fan base with hits like Edamame, lalala, and through his collaborative project with Young Gravy titled Baby Gravy. Last week, Bbno Money returned with his latest record, a self-titled release that once again showcases his wildly fun and unpredictable sound. The album captures everything fans have come to love about him: clever wordplay, catchy hooks, and an undeniable charisma that keeps listeners coming back for more. In today's episode, we are welcoming Bbno Money back to the podcast to chat all about this brand new record. We discuss the creative process behind the self-titled album Bbno Money. We dive into some of his favourite Australian slang words and talk about how he manages to always stay one step ahead when it comes to internet culture. We also chat about his upcoming Australian tour, which kicks off next week in Sydney. Now we want to say a massive thank you to Imi and Amanda for their help with today's episode and remind everyone that the latest self-titled Bbno Money album is out right now. You can find links in the show notes on where you can purchase the record, grab tickets to that upcoming tour that we mentioned, and follow him across all of his social media channels. While you are in the show notes, please make sure you subscribe to This Song Is Yours and go follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We'd love it if you did. It really does help us out and it ensures that you stay up to date with new episodes, guests, and everything else that we've got going on. Now let's get into it. Here is our conversation with Bbno Money.
I'm a certified jiggler. I'm a trust fund, baby, no money. Better call me by my name like I'm Lil Nas X. In the green light district, I'm a young male mistress making racks every time I have sex. I call her Dwayne, how she rocking on my Johnson. No,
man, I cannot wait to go to Australia. I love how people say, how you going? Love it.
Even as I said it, I was like, oh, that was probably too Australian. I should probably try and dial it back a little bit, but I appreciate it.
I know the slang. A snag,
mm-hmm.
bogan, pingers,
the classics.
Dog cunt, sit cunt, rat cunt. Yeah, I got it.
Well, look, I'm glad. I think that you're going to fit in very well when you do come back. I will very quickly say, instead of an introduction, please welcome back to the podcast, Bbno Money. It is such a delight to have you back with us and exciting that you are coming back to Australia, as you kind of mentioned. I believe when this episode's going to air, you're just going to be starting that run of dates in support of this new album. Other than the lingo that you've already learned in your previous few trips, what can fans kind of expect from this upcoming tour?
I mean, honestly, so I just toured North America and Europe in February, and these new songs really translate live, and it is, for me on stage, it's so much fun. So if I'm having fun on stage, where technically I'm doing karaoke every night, which karaoke is my least favorite group activity. If I'm having fun, I'm sure the people in the crowd are having a blast. So I really, really think, obviously I'm not like a AAA act or anything, so I can't afford to do the production that I've always dreamed of. But slowly I'm getting there, and I just can't wait to have this step up, my independent step up. Just coming back to Australia without Young Gravy. Love Young Gravy, but just doing it to a point where my vision is becoming a little bit more clear with how I want my shows to be. And I think my fans are going to see and appreciate that I put time and effort into my live show. And it's always a really, really good time. Yeah.
Well, I would 100% agree with that. I was lucky enough to see yourself and Young Gravy at, I think it was Spin-Off Festival in Adelaide last year, and just the energy. I think the most talked about set was from yourself and him. So I think that there's a lot of excitement around these shows. I think most of them are sold out, if not all of them.
Yeah, so I wish we listed 2 nights at both venues, because the day we went live, we sold everything out in like an hour. And then yeah, these last couple shows, basically we are sitting at like, I think we posted another show in Melbourne and another show in Sydney, and we're like 78% there. So we'll sell out for sure, like day of ticket buyers, yada, yada. But like, I'm doing 10,000 tickets in Australia, in Sydney. It's crazy. Like, the next time I come back, we're doing it like an arena. It's fucking mind blowing.
I think it's only a matter of time. I think that the lingo that we were discussing before, I think has anyone spoken to you about what a larrikin is?
A larrikin?
Yeah. It's I feel like your sense of humor, the charm that you seem to exude, a number of those things put together is what like a larrikin, almost like I don't know how to explain. It's actually a weird one to explain to someone who's not Australian. Almost like a lovable, cheeky guy, if that makes sense.
So how do you spell it? Larrikin?
Larrakin, I think.
Oh, lidocaine. Larrrkin. Larrikin. A boisterous, oftenly badly behaved young man.
But,
fair enough.
But they're well loved here in Australia, and I think that is why the success of yourself and the Baby No Money project kind of seems to work, because people love it and people seem to love your music. And it is also exciting because I feel that we usually down here in Australia, we usually get artists at the end of an album cycle. I think that an album will come out and maybe 2 years later we will see an artist come down and promote it. But it's super exciting because we've got a brand new record from yourself. Pretty much, I want to say it's a matter of weeks that we're almost the first place that you're touring after the release of this brand new self-titled record called Baby No Money. Can we have a chat about the album?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Also, I'm reading like another AI overview of what larrikin is good-hearted person who disregards convention and authority. Mm-hmm. So it's basically punk.
Yeah. I'd say that kind of fits. Yeah.
I mean, like, theoretically, like everything I do is punk-esque. I have political opinions and I just don't really give a fuck. So that's pretty punky, I guess. But yeah, back to the album. I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, I think it's the best collection of music I've ever put out. I really, really like went for it with like the energy music. I really have been having a really good time just making party music. But yeah, there's some like really, really solid songs on it, like unbelievable records. And I'm very excited for the world to hear them. I have I have some left field features on it for sure, but majority of the songs are just me. I think there's like 2 people on it that are, there's only 2 features really. And yeah, I think my fans are going to eat it up. If they don't, they don't. But if they do, hell yeah. And it doesn't really matter because I genuinely can listen through the album and be like proud of it. And that's the only thing that really makes a difference in my life is like if I like the stuff. And I'm just really stoked for people to hear it. It's going to be amazing.
Proud of it you should be, I think. I think this is the most, and maybe you can speak to this, maybe it's why it is the self-titled 8 or 9 albums in. It almost seems to be the most Baby No Money album, if that makes sense. Like, as you said, that these songs are the most high energy. I think that they represent what you do in the most kind of purest form.
Yeah, I mean, I have always thought if I have a platform, why not be a positive wrecking force for the youth and for the people that like actually pay attention to anything that I do. It's like, why would I want to spread any negativity? So in theory, like me doing the high energy, high positive energy music, it's like kind of an articulation of like my personality, and through 21 tracks, like let them have some fun. Right. So
Yeah, 100%. What is that process like when you are kind of writing? I know that we've had, when you and I are speaking, there's been about 5 singles, I think, so far that have come out. And I know we've got a few more to go as the album does come out in the middle of October. When you put out songs, maybe like Hot Topic, like what's the process of bringing that song together, like, and building it and making sure it has that kind of flavor of Baby No Money so that it is appropriate for the album?
Shit, I don't think that far. Honestly, when I make music, it's kind of just like does this song rip? Show the boys, and they're like, hell yeah, that's it. That's kind of how it goes. The process of making the music is more like I just sit in the room, I'll like drink a coffee, and we just say like the silliest, goofiest things possible, and try to get as witty as humanly possible, and then work back on it and find like weird productional changes that emphasize words or emphasize like moments in the song. Something that I think I pride myself on with music is like finding moments and just repeating new, fresh moments for the listener to be entertained. Because it's the same product of like making a book. If you're making a book, you want there to be like peaks and swells and peaks and dips and peaks in this. So it's like, how do we have that happen a bunch? And how do we keep the listener super entertained throughout the whole shit, 1 minute and 46 seconds? But sometimes I do a little bit longer. And that's been my prerogative from the jump, is like, as cliche as it may be, like, don't fuck the vibe up. I've cut songs from 3-minute level or 3-minute songs to 2 minutes flat, because I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, there's a moment here that something rubs me the wrong way. Let's just cut it out. It doesn't make a difference in the song. Because most of my songs aren't contextualized to a point where it needs this. Typically, my hooks like land a feeling, and then once the hook has a feeling, I will base the rest of the lyricism around a feeling, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's kind of like how I make music, and I'm sure that's how a lot of other musicians make music. But I've kind of got it down to a science at this point. I'm not the best songwriter in the world, but I do think I'm pretty good at it. I'm good at like saying things a certain way, and like my pronunciation is very like animated, so it helps people to draw people in when they do their first listen or something like that.
I think one thing that definitely stands out as like an identifier with your music, as you kind of said, is your voice and your pronunciation of certain words. And I think that people know there are certain artists that can sound like other artists, and not simply saying this because we're chatting, but I think Baby No Money is definitely a unique voice, and you definitely know when it is a Baby No Money track because you can hear it both in the vocal take, the pronunciation, the diction, whatever it may be, but also in the words that you're saying. I think that, and I know it's been talked about a bit in press, but you are, I want to say, a savant of popular culture. Is that the best kind of phrase to use?
Sure. Or you could say I am completely brain rotted.
Well, this is kind of where I almost wanted to take it, because I think that you have done an incredible job of bringing different elements of popular culture into your music and to the visuals of the Baby No Money project over time. And with the internet being such a thing that people continue to be more and more chronically online, how do you find that very good balance of it completely not being brain rot, but it's still landing and kind of having that impact that you were talking about before in terms of it being catchy, it resonating and not killing that vibe, I guess?
Well, I mean, I think my content and avenues of promotion are completely rotted. Like they are in the depth of the rot. But I still think my music, like, I don't really sound like many musicians, truthfully. I kind of am in my own lane, which is a negative and a positive. And a negative in the sense of like, I don't really fit anywhere. So it's really hard for like the industry to like co-sign me in a sense. But the other thing is, like, if you like my music, you love my music. But most people don't like my music. But there are people around the world that like my music and they love it. So I like my listenership is a very, very dedicated fan base that it's kind of like the Suicide Boys, for instance. The Suicide Boys, they have a crazy fan base that I would say, like, I met somebody recently that was in music and I was like, you know, the Suicide Boys. And the person was like, no. And this person was like a huge fan of tons of musicians. And I was like, that's crazy because they do more tickets than XYZ. They do more streams than XYZ. So I have like a cult following. And my brain is completely rotted. But I still think that if you were to give my music to an artist, like a AAA act, let them change it a bit, I don't think people would blink an eye and be like, oh, this is like a different lane for them. You know, I think the way I articulate myself online is how I differentiate myself in its entirety. And I think people can sometimes resonate with it or like be very like polarized and like walk away from it. I don't know if that kind of answers your question.
No, I think it does. I think it definitely does. I know that you kind of touched on it there. Some of the marketing and promo sometimes does lean into more of that unhinged brain rot kind of content, as you said. I know that I think this week there was, when we are speaking, that there was some clips of, is it a choir? Is it a number of guys singing lalala, but like in a kind of choral kind of way?
So I just had like a bunch of people over making content and I was like, let's do this video. Here's the idea. I came up with it on the spot with my content guy, Olin. And we just shot it, posted it, and hoped for the best. And it did pretty well. And yeah, it's just kind of nothing. Like it's just like whatever. I feel I really enjoy taking a bite out of me, like in videos, like, you know, leveling myself down from the quote untouchableness of a lot of like play acts. And I think it allows me to just be myself and it makes it easy for me. Cause for instance, you know, the Sugar on My Tongue song right now, Sugar on My Tongue. Okay. So there's a trend where you like repeat moments in the video of like you looking hot or like you kissing your lips, blah, blah, blah. Like it's very like sexy trend. But I tried to do it this morning in that tone because yesterday I posted a video and I look insane in it and I was doing it completely wrong. And that's just like is the first thing that comes to my mind is just brain rot, basically. And I tried doing it this morning, like following that trend and doing the exact same thing that everyone else is doing, which hypothetically would have done better. But I just like enjoy the stupidity of this all, if that makes sense. Yeah.
100.
And that's where like the brain rot-esque of all of this comes from. But the end purpose of every single thing that I'm talking about and all of these pieces of content is fundamentally to promote my music and to let people fall in love with the world that I'm building. And that's basically it.
Yeah, 100%. It is an incredible record. We were very lucky enough to have a listen to it before it has come out. And excited for fans to listen. Sorry?
Listen to it.
We've had to listen to most of the tracks. I think there's still a few that we weren't fully given access to, which is fine, but more so what we've heard we've loved so far, which is excited.
What'd you hear?
I don't know the track names off by heart, so I apologize. We've obviously got 1-800. We've got Hot Topic. We have...
Oh, yeah, you can.
It Boy, obviously, check. 1-800, 2, boom. And then there was one or two others that are hidden in my email. But I'm really, really excited for fans to listen to this album and to see it live. We are going to include the show details for any tickets that might be left at this stage in the show notes for you. is there any track off this new record that you're looking forward to kind of playing around with live or playing in these shows in Australia?
I mean, there's like 7 songs that I think would translate really well live from it. But I think one specifically, it might not work live, but there's a song called Bing Bong, and it's such a fucking slapper. I'm really excited for the song to come out.
That is very, very exciting. Again, we'll make sure there are details in the show notes for today's podcast. Lastly, Alex, we usually ask, I guess, what they're currently listening to for yourself. Is there anything that's on high rotation?
Just Leve. That's honestly like kind of the only type of music I listen to. Considering it's kind of funny because I come from a world of boom, boom, boom music. But yeah, Leve, I'm a huge fan of her music. It's like very good music. So like relax and do like admin and like Excel spreadsheets too. So yeah, huge fan of Leve.
Unexpected choice, but I can kind of see where that might connect, and also love that choice. Fan of the new album?
Oh yeah, huge.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the songs by like off name, but like I listened to it and I was like, and she's done it again. She sold 99K first week. Fucking insane, man. It's insane.
It's crazy, but fantastic artist. Similar to yourself, Alex, thank you very much for coming onto the podcast and chatting to us about the brand new Bbno Money album. It is called Bbno Money. It's self-titled and it's out now when people are listening to our conversation. But yeah, thank you again for coming back to the podcast.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.